I've made my cup of coffee, which I just had to go and get the cup back because I didn't know my support worker had washed my cup. Hey everyone, it's Mel here and welcome back to the channel for another video. Today I'm going to talk about all of the fun equipment that I have to help me deal with my broken leg. We're going to be talking about wheelchairs, crutches, walking frames and pickup sticks, and how I'm managing with all of those fun things as a completely blind person who has a broken leg. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about, because I'm sitting in it because it's comfortable, is the wheelchair. Now this is all of the equipment except for the crutches, which I own, is loan equipment from the hospital. I have it for, I guess, 4 weeks or until I don't need it anymore. So it's just a standard manual wheelchair. I have taken the foot plates off. They're there on the floor somewhere. And the reason why I've taken the foot plates off is because my house is not that big. There are some very small doorways and gaps and things that with the foot plates on the chair, I can't get through. So I took the foot plates off so it's easier to maneuver around the house with the chair. As you can see, maybe if you can see, I have here some gloves velcroed to the armrests of the chair. The reason why I have gloves velcroed to the armrests of the chair, these are just my horse riding gloves. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm actually a equestrian. I ride and have 2 horses. So these are my horse riding gloves. The reason why I have them here on my wheelchair is because they help with the grip of the wheels. So put my gloves on. I keep the left one on the left handle and the right one on the right handle. Take the brakes off and I can drive myself. Now, as a person who is completely blind with no light perception, I literally cannot tell if there's any lights on in a room. The way that I move around in the wheelchair is by using touch and by using echolocation. So by hearing things like walls and doorways and solid objects. So the main times when I would use the wheelchair are when I don't have the boot on, because I'm not allowed to walk on my leg when I don't have the boot on. So navigation with the wheelchair, as I said, I use echolocation and touch. So as you saw just then, when I was lined up with this wall here, I just felt the wall to see where I was in compared to the wall, and now I can just go straight. And then as I come past the bedroom door there, I can hear the wall drop away. It's a solid object, and I can tell that the doorway is there instead of the wall. So if I keep coming forward, I pause here and I check for the kitchen bench and the wall to make sure that I'm going to get through that gap. And I keep coming through, and then when I get to the end of the kitchen bench and I want to turn into the kitchen, I put my hand on the front corner of the kitchen bench to make sure that I've got enough room to turn into the kitchen. And then I just keep doing what I'm doing in the kitchen. And I'm lucky because I can stand up out of the wheelchair, especially if I have the boot on, to do things that need to be done in the kitchen. So that is how I use the wheelchair as someone who's completely blind. The next thing that I use and this is mostly in the kitchen, and when I'm trying to achieve tasks, is my little kitchen trolley walking frame thing. It's a 4-wheeled walking frame, and on the front of it, it has a basket with a table on top that you can put things on. So when I'm in the kitchen and I've cooked lunch, made a cup of tea, done whatever, I use this to transport my cup of tea, lunch, to wherever I'm going to sit and have my meal. So I've made my cup of coffee, which I just had to go and get the cup back because I didn't know my support worker had washed my cup, and I'm going to put it on the table there, and I'm going to make sure by feeling with my hands that it's sort of in the middle, so that if there's too much jolting, it's not going to spill, and I can use this frame to walk to wherever I'm going to sit to have my cup of coffee. And once again, I'm using my hands, as you saw at the corner of the fridge there, to feel where I am. So I'm going to check to make sure I'm not too close to this wall. I'm going to check to make sure that I'm at the table here. I'm going to grab my cup of coffee off the trolley and put it on the table. Now, I've also discovered that the laundry baskets that I have just fit on this table, so I do use this for bringing in and taking out the washing, and any kind of task where I have to carry anything is what this is good for. So the next thing that I have is my pickup stick. This is maybe a 3/4 meter or 1.5, maybe 2 feet long stick. On the end it has a handle that you squeeze together, and on the bottom it has a claw that when you squeeze together, the claw snaps together and you pick things up off the floor because you can't bend to pick things up. One of the things that I drop the most often times is my gloves, because what happens is I sit down on my chair, on my wheelchair, and I like brush them, and if I haven't velcroed them on properly, they come unvelcroed and fall on the floor. So I use the pickup stick to pick up said dropped glove, like so. First of all, I find the dropped item with my foot. There it is. So I found it with my right foot because I can't see it. And then I follow my foot down with the pickup stick, grab the item with the pickup stick. Ta-da! I picked it up. And the last item we are going to discuss is probably the most stock standard item that you expect somebody with a broken leg to use: a pair of crutches. These are just elbow crutches with a circle on the top that you push your arm through and a handle that you hold on to. And with these, I'm lucky that I can just walk because I can weight bear when I've got the boot on. When I haven't got the boot on, as I said, I have to use the wheelchair because I can't weight bear. But with these, because I've got good echolocation, good spatial awareness, and good mental mapping skills, I'm very fortunate that I can just walk around as normal. When I was in hospital for 2 weeks, I was doing laps around and around and around the corridor. Since I've been home, I've been able to walk my guide dog a little bit to and from the local bus stop, which is only like 300 meters. I've been able to do stuff around the backyard. I've been really able to be quite versatile on the crutches. I went to the doctor's clinic the other day and she's like, oh, how do we do this? And I'm like, well, if you walk in front of me, directly in front of me, and just keep talking, I can just follow you. And she was quite impressed that I could just follow her voice. And even walking through the doorway, she's like, oh, you did that like a singing person. I'm like, I know. So if you've got good hearing and spatial awareness and stuff, it's quite easy to walk around on crutches as a completely blind person with no light perception. So when I've taken my dog for a walk, Penny, viens, bon chien, I have had her on her leash. Yes, because I'm using her in public spaces, I do have her harness on, but I can't use her harness obviously because I don't have the hand space. So what I've basically just been doing is I've just been holding her leash in my finger, which is what you do when they are guiding you anyway. You hold the end of their leash in your pointer finger, and I've just been holding on to the crutches with my hands properly, and then up here. Bon chien. Allez va. Mon chien, en avant. And then she'll just walk with me as we go to wherever we're going. Bon chien. Dégage. Bon chien. And when we're out in public, she does put a bit of tension on the leash so that I can feel like where we're going. And I haven't gone anywhere fully independently, except for places that I really know really well for a safety point of view. So that's how I've been taking her very small distances. So that is how I've been managing with all of my different equipment as somebody who is completely blind with no light perception with a broken leg. If you've got any questions or anything I didn't explain properly, please put it down in the comment section down below. This has been an experience, I'm not gonna lie. I've certainly had an adventure with this broken leg. It's been fun learning how to manage everything in my unit here. I haven't got bored because it takes 5 times longer to do anything than it does when you've only got 2 legs and you can just do things the normal way. I'm going to next week do a day in the life of a blind person with a broken leg, so hopefully you will all enjoy that. I just haven't decided which day to do that yet. But please remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a thumbs up and a comment if you have anything of value that you would like to say, and I will see you in the next one. Don't forget to check all of my links down in the description below to follow me on Insta, Facebook and WordPress as well. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.